Hi everyone, it's Jules by Jude here. And guess what? Guess where I was this weekend? I was actually at Bath and Body Works. And I told you they were going to have some new ones eventually, and they have. And this is probably what they would consider their fall collection, or the start of. This is a leaf and these are the acorns. So what we're going to do is the same thing we did before in another video, only different caps. Now these are candle caps if you don't know, or if you haven't seen the previous video. And when you buy a candle, they have caps at this store. And they have different designs, as you can see. And they're beautiful most of the time. Sometimes they just say Body Works, but if you look around the store, you'll see. If you do not buy Body Works and you do not go there, you might be able to catch a few on eBay or Amazon. The lids, that is. Or even the candles. So, I like to go to the store. I like the candles. And I reap the benefits afterwards. So, this is what we're going to do today. Okay. So, first thing first, let's do the leaf. This is not complicated. I have some bacon in the back, and they seem to be able to come out pretty well for me. Let me just get some of this clay off my fingers. Alright. Now, this is the leaf. We'll start with the leaf first. Let's get some things out of the way just in case they're in the way. There's a couple ways you could probably do this. This is the way I choose to do it at this time. If there are other ways or even better ways, feel free to just comment in the comment section. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy and watch the ride. Okay. Now what I'm doing here is slightly pressing my clay into the top of the lid, and I did have this on my thickest setting, and it's likely that I will put a backing on this because it is not as thick as I might like it to be, but we'll see. Play it by ear. Got a ways to go. Also, what is a very high chance here is we don't have the whole leaf in there. It would be too big for me, maybe not for other people, but it would be too big for me. So we're going to take a portion of it with the cutter. I'm going to cook it, when I do get to that point, at 250 degrees for at least 30 minutes. In some instances, I put a piece of wax paper over top of it so that it doesn't darken or burn. Now this is a white, solid white, and this is Kato clay. Woo! Okay. Now also what I like to do sometimes is take this and just go across the top. I don't rely solely on my roller because I like to push and make sure that the clay is in the grooves of the stamp / cap. But I do like to go over it and take off some of these prints from my fingers. Not that it really matters, they're on the back and there may be a backing on it, but nonetheless, it gives it an extra little push. Alright, I'm getting ready to take it off, so I'm going to go one more time. Okay, let's reveal what we got here. And this might be a little difficult for y'all to see because it's white. So that's where the magic comes in. And there's your leaf, and I'm going to just trim this up a little bit just to get some of this out of the way. And I know that I'm going to center on that center leaf or portion of the leaf. So I'm going to remove the majority of the clay so that my focus is clear. Now I have the green mica and the gold mica. And I do not remember where I got these, but you can get mica at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, eBay, RJ Crafts, the list goes on, but that's a start. So So what I like to do here is probably do a combination of the leaf and the, combination of the green and the gold here. Okay, you can use your brush, but sometimes it's just better if you use your finger. So I'm going to take a little bit of both, and we're going to do a little bit of both, and I think I'm going to do them with my fingers. Okay. So I like to practice sometimes on a piece or a side that I know I'm not going to use, so I can see what it looks like. And sometimes I'll do a whole test piece, of course, and I have a couple of those in the oven right now. Okay. This way it does not go into the grooves. It only is laying on top right now, this color. This mica, some of it's fallen through, I'm sure. But for the majority of it, it really truly is just hitting the top. Now, of course, you can do this a lot of different ways. You can even make the whole top. If you do the whole top, you likely could do a Christmas ornament of sorts, or some type of window ornament. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. Endless, I tell you. Alright. This is terribly easy, but it's fun. But you can make it complicated. You can put beads. You can do... And when you put your necklace together, it'll become a little bit more complicated as well. I don't know. I think that's good enough for me. Now, I've seen a lot of mica shifts, and that's when they scrape off the top. I don't think that this texture plate that I'm using, which is the candle lid, is deep enough to do that shift. I tried, but you may be better at it than I, and if you are, then give it a shot, because it's really cool print. So what I'm going to do with this one is I like to try to do this kind of like that, maybe shift it a little longer. I'm not using the cellophane wrap right now, but it wouldn't hurt if you did. Alright, now that said, this is what you have. I have a little left on my finger, so I think I might hit it a little bit better. And it's a little bit on the, how do you say, abstract view of a leaf on the paisley cutter, but still quite attractive. I like it. I like the print. There we go. Let's see if I can get this up. You'll be able to see a couple that are cooking in the toaster oven right now, but just for your view of the clay. Now, as I said, this is a Kato white clay, so it'll be really hard if you cook it long enough and whatnot. Oh, there you go. Well, let's finish the other one before we take a peek. Now, the other one is the acorn. Now, I'm going to just take my little scraps here, because I may try to get earrings out of this. We'll see. Alright, here's the acorn. Okay? And this is Bath & Body Works candle lid, and it's the acorns. Now, I'll make sure my hands are cleaned off. And now, maybe a little decision making here. You could go like that, you could go like that, you could do anything you want. I want the acorn, the larger one, and a lot of this leafage in portion of it. So I'm going to go across like that. Lord knows how it's going to turn out, because you know as well as I do, we never know. It's going to turn out the way it's going to turn out. Doing it the same way exactly. There's no difference. Just the design and the texture of it. Okay. Doesn't matter. Put it back on it. I like to make sure, because if you don't want to do it again, you make sure. You push that in, you roll it out, get that, make sure it's in there. If you pull it and you see that it's not what you wanted and you needed to do it again, you do it again. What's important, especially with Kato, is that your clay is conditioned. So it's soft enough to get into the crevices. Because Kato can be stiff. If it's some of the softer clays, you probably don't have to condition as long or be aware of it because it's a softer clay. Now I'm going to roll it just as I did before. And this does not seem to be as deep as the leaf when I did it the last time. And that could be for the reason, I can tell that it's not just by looking at it, but you know, it could be that I didn't push it in enough, but that's really not what it is. The real reason is it just is not. Another thing to be looking out for is the air pockets in these type of texture examples that we use here, because it's not really a texture plate, but I'm using it for one, is to check out for that air pocket too. And if you find one, usually with these, this type, you can squeeze it out. If not, just slice it open and push the air out. Also sliding around on me, but that's okay. Alright, let's do the reveal. Probably forgot to mention to make sure your lids are clean. Okay, that little big guy right there is what I'm after. And I was going for these leaves. I'll have to settle for these. Let's see what they look like. Alright. We already know we're not using that. Let's get rid of it. I like to get rid of stuff that, you know, before I start working on it. Sometimes, not always, some have to. But it, you know, it's out of focus now. Now it's in focus to me. Alright, facing it down towards myself, which I know you guys would rather see it the other way, which I will. Just want to make sure it's... Like I said, that might be hard to see. Now with this acorn, I'm going gold, okay? Remember, mica powder goes a long way. I think I've had this since I started. That's why I can't remember where I got it from. I might have gotten it at Michael's. Just not positive on it, so I don't want to swear by it. But it was in a pack. There was a pack of them. And it's been doing pretty good for me, considering I bought, you know, tons of others in the process. I like the Pearl X. The Pearl X is really cool because it kind of goes on as one shade and comes off as another depending on the color of the clay that you use. So that's kind of cool. So, I think it's looking a little bit more like an acorn. Okay, I didn't like the mica, the way that mica came out on that one, so I'm doing it again. Not a biggie, like I said. If you don't want to do it again, you do it right the first time. And who's to say if it's right or wrong, right? I just didn't like it, so try it again. And it wasn't the mold or the texture plate, it was indeed the mica powder. I put it on too heavy. And we're gonna roll. Roll, roll, roll. Push. Make sure it's down in there. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Very nice, very nice. As always, let's get rid of this part. There we go. Much better than the other one. Now with this one, I think I'm going to use a round. It's too big. It's too small. Oh, that's the one. This is not too big, is it? No. I might get away with it. Maybe not. There we go. That's still good. It's got a little bit of leaf in it. I like it a lot. All right. Now those are what it looks like after I bake my first one. One is a lot larger. This one here is a lot larger. They're still very hot. I will show you the end results, or you'll see what I do with these shortly, and I'm going to put my other ones in. And I'll be back. Hello guys, I'm back, and these are the results of our previous taping, and I am going to put it back on them. Let's get some of this off. So there's a couple ways we can do this. This one, let me see here. That one is already quite large, but there is a couple ways. Anyhow, let's look at what we got. These are all baked, all of them. So with this one here, I'm going to just cut out the shape. I'll show you that now. So I'm going to hold on to my piece, and I'm just going to go around, and I like to do it kind of like this. Get my excess, as much of it. I like it on the tile because I can turn the tile around as needed. And okay. Voila. Now, let's see what we got here, shall we? Okay. Now all we would like to do here is just smooth off some of these edges with our fingers. Okay. Press in a little bit. Now this is a baked piece. So before I go any further, and I could have probably done this before I placed my cutter down, but it is advisable that we do put some liquid clay on here because the piece has already been baked. Look at all those fingerprints. Alright, now that said, we did that. Now we're going to place this back on here and slide it carefully and reform it to the piece. Now this all still needs to be sanded, and I'll do that after the second baking, I believe. And let's see, I think I might texture this backing. Let's see. Alright, so what we'll do is let's take a piece of our wax paper, and what I'd like to do is take out some of these fingerprints of mine. So I'm just going to burnish it a little bit. There we go. Like so. I like to do that sometimes. Puts a little bit of a roundness onto it. It doesn't seem like I can get it to do what I want sometimes. All right. Now that I have this piece here, like so, I'm just going to, I don't want to push too hard. I'm just going to put a steady pressure and then lift that piece off. And now I have a little backing. My finger did get a little bit smudged there. Alright, so now I just need to do is to make a decision whether or not I want to put some. Now what do I use? Oh, I use a little bit of both. So what I will do is use a little bit of both on the back. Bake it. And then we'll be back. Want a little light hint of a print. I don't want it to look like a whole nother pendant back here. I just want it to look nice when it's coming off and going on. There we go. Even that's a little too high. So, I mean, to control that a little bit, what you might want to do is just make sure you don't press too hard, if that's the effect you're going for. So in my case it is. Okay, so that's the first one. So I'm going to prepare it for baking by placing it in the oven. Now, our next one is one of our acorns. It was one of my first pieces, and let's see here, just out of curiosity. Let's see. So I am going to try this with a border. I don't know if it'll come out the way I want it to. So I'm going to put a little bit of clay on here, and I'm going to try to place it in the center. I'm going to give that a shot. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, next one up. This is my other acorn. I like this one better. It looks like it has like almost like a lighting comes in with the shadow against it, so I really like that. So I'm not going to mess with the this is Kato Clear Poly Clay. I'm going to put some on that because the pieces that I'm working with right now are indeed pieces that were baked. And it's recommended that you use it's like little glue. bakes. It's poly clay. It's just liquid. You can throw these in your scrap pieces. So I got a lot going on there, and I just want to take some of it off. Many fingerprints. A little bit of transfer going on here. Don't want to rub it with my fingers right now. Do it like that. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Piece number 3. So now we have this piece left. Let's see, will this fit? Yes. Okay. Now, put my piece here. Get me some glue. That's what I call it. Poly clay liquid clear. It's white, but it'll dry clear. Alright. Put that sucker on there. Now, push in there a little bit. And I'm going to look for, let's see, this might have been on one, yep. Alright, let's see how this would play out if I wanted it to. Is that the biggest one? Second to the biggest? Oh, there they are. We can always change our minds. You know, I like it, and I think I might leave it just as it is, believe it or not. So I will be back after these are baked, and I'll see you in a few. Hi everyone, I'm back. Here's my finished pieces, and I wanted to show you a few other things. This is one of the pieces I was working on earlier. I don't think I did anything in a video, but working on putting that piece together. This is our acorn. This is the large one. It doesn't have any gloss on it. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do it that or not. And here's where I put a little bit of a Swarovski flat back crystal where my thumb is. And you can see the overlap of the black. Okay. Here's another piece that is in this video, finished. Also has a little crystal. It's one of the leaves, one of the larger ones. And this is the other acorn. Okay. And these are my watercolor designs. I don't know how the lighting's going on this, but this is the outline of, or I'm sorry, this is the black water color necklace that I did. Those are the beads. And this is the regular watercolor that I did with its beads. So just a few things that I did, and this is of course what was done in the video, and those are the finished pieces. So if you like this video, please push like, click the like button, share, and subscribe. Thanks, and God bless.